Hello and namaste. Welcome to my show, Face Off with Ananthi Madam. This is disclaimer what you are seeking. And today, in my session, we will have Miss Ananthi Madam, the new age speaker. Let me start this session with Jyoti Prajwala. Let me take you through the profile of Miss Ananthi Vijay. Miss Ananthi Vijay is practicing meditator, practicing it from past 10 years. She is the director of Pyramid Spiritual Science Academy, the education wing of Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement, with its eminent headquarters at Pyramid Valley International, Bengaluru. She is the volunteer of various civilian groups and helps for the better living of its citizens in her locality. She organized more than 400 online meditation sessions, spreading the message of joy and happiness, which she discovered in the practice of Anapanasati technique of meditation. So, my dear friends, let's meet with Ananthi Vijay in this session. Hello and namaste to this show, Face Off with Ananthi Madam. So I am your host, Shrikant Pulipala, and let me invite Ananthi Madam to this show. Hello, Madam. Please welcome to my show.
Namaste, Shrikant, and namaste to all the viewers. Thank you for inviting me to this show, Shrikant. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to my show, Ananthi Madam. So for the viewers, for the benefit of viewers, let me introduce few points about Ananthi Madam. She is a meditator and she is practicing this meditation from past 10 years. And she is the director of Pyramid Spiritual Science Academy. It is the education wing of Pyramid Spiritual Science movement. And she organizes many sessions on Zoom, and she has crossed 400 plus sessions organizing on Zoom. So we are very happy, Ananthi Madam, to see you on my show, like Face Off with Ananthi Madam. Yes.
Thank you.
I will like the show will be like this. Like I will be asking few questions with you. After that, yes, you can go with your topic. What we have planned, right?
So, okay.
I will shoot you the first question. So
excited, yes.
Yeah, excited you, right? So, what kind of belief system or spiritual path do you follow?
Interesting question. So, the spiritual path which I am now is a kind of a very open system, I would like to say, which gives me all the freedom from my thoughts to the words to the actions, whatever I do. I find a freedom in whatever I am doing. That is the spiritual path which I have taken now. Basically, born as a Hindu, I have learned a lot of shlokas from the younger age, but most of them without any kind of understanding. We have been taught that God is everywhere. That is the name which was given. And yes, we do believe, I do believe in that we have a super consciousness of ours, and a beautiful universe is there, and the nature is there. I respect everybody, especially I have got a lot of respect for my own self now. I have gained that confidence within myself that I am a God within myself. And I believe that the God is residing in each and every one of you. Nobody is either greater than us or below us, or to add to that, we can say that nobody is equal either, because everybody is unique in their own way. So that is the belief system which I have right now. able to differentiate between religiousness and being spiritual. I would like to say that I'm more of a spiritual person by trying to understand and relate whatever I have learned from my childhood in a more scientific manner. And I see that whatever comes along my path, I am taking it as a challenge and learning from it every day. Each and every day has been a beautiful day for me with a lot of smiles. And I do enjoy my day. And this is the spirituality which I am practicing with a lot of freedom in my hands.
Wow. Well said, Ananthi madam. Wow. It was interesting to know about your spiritual path you're following and the belief system. I am very happy about that.
Thank you.
So, I would like to ask one more question on this spiritual aspect. Like, like, how did you get into this spiritual path? But is there any inspiration kind of thing, or somebody like invited you, or how it was? Like, how you joined this spiritual path?
Yes, that is also an interesting thing because my childhood has been great because right from my childhood, I have been a topper in my school and I have really scored good marks in my 10th grade and 12th grade. And I went to my engineering, got into software, and I have worked as a software engineer for a couple of years in TCS and Infosys, and it was all going good. And it was just going okay, a day-to-day life where we just fulfill our own duties and everything going fine. And myself and Master Chandra, Master Vani, we live in the same community, and we happen to be neighbors. And Patriji had come in for their housewarming ceremony. That was the first time when I met Patriji and did meditation there. So after that, Master Chandra and Master Vani have a beautiful pyramid constructed in their house. And they used to invite me as being their neighbor, invite us for doing meditation. I wanted to try it out because I've never tried meditation. And I used to have the thinking that meditation is only for super seniors. So that was my thought before meditation, yes. And I wanted to give it a try. So Master Chandra and Master Vani invited me for doing meditation for 40 days. And one thing which actually inspired me a lot was like, when we are into this path of meditation, we can totally leave the path of medication. So I had a frozen shoulder problem that time because we are doing a lot of house construction work and a lot of work with small kids that time. And I had a lot of shoulder pain where I could not even move my head, turn left or right. It was painful. It was there for a couple of months for me. And so this actually inspired me because I had tried a lot of massages and medication, painkillers. It used to go, but used to come back again. So it was like on and off, on and off. So I just wanted to give it a try. And I started this 40 days of meditation. I started doing 45 minutes of meditation every day. It was going good. Initially, for the first 2 weeks, I did not find any change in my pain. In fact, I found out that the pain increased whenever I sat for meditation for 45 minutes. I didn't give up, okay? So I was there, I was sitting. Whenever I sit, the pain in my shoulder, neck area, head totally used to increase a lot. I used to wonder what's happening. Why is my pain increasing? They told me that the pain will go away, but it is increasing. So I was just confused, but I did not give up. But the miracle happened after 2 weeks. My pain, the pain in my right shoulder started going away. And within a week, the third week, completely vanished. And I should say that I haven't gotten that kind of shoulder pain till now. So that was one thing which actually inspired me. And I have been doing continuing meditation after that. So that was my inspiration to go into meditation. And Master Chandra and Master Vani always conduct sessions in their house for the past 10 years. They have been conducting sessions in their house, and I used to go and meditate there regularly. I've been listening to many, many inspirational stories from them. I've been a volunteer for Pyramid Valley, so I have attended a lot of GFSS sessions and many Buddha Puna sessions, and I have gained a lot of knowledge by listening to a lot of masters And my first experience in the big pyramid in Bengaluru, the Pyramid Valley Pyramid, is just wonderful. For about, I went and sat there for meditation around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. For about an hour, I was there in meditation. My head became so heavy and so full that that fullness was there for the rest of the day. I couldn't come out of that feeling. So I had gained so much of energy in that one session. So my experience has been going on, and I have been enjoying this meditation a lot because it's very simple. You actually not do anything else, just focus on your breath. What else can be there more simpler than this, right? So many experiences after that, and many wisdom I have gained, and many benefits I've got.
Yeah, very nice. So it was a very you started your spiritual journey with kind of a shoulder pain, and from through it you started the journey, and you gain a lot of experiences by practicing
Yes.
meditation. Yeah, that's wonderful. So what I feel is we require some kind of a what do you call inspiration or aspiration or some kind of this thing, a reason to get into this spiritual path. That is what I hear from all the masters whom I interviewed. So right. So what you have already shared about, like you had the benefit of coming out of your shoulder pain, and you had experiences. No, apart from that, you want to share any other spiritual experiences which you have like felt in these years. I mean, from past 10 years, you have been practicing meditation. So any specific meditation experience which inspires you even today, or you want to tell to the viewers so that it will be inspiration to them?
Yes, sure. There are a lot of meditation experiences which I've got. Like when I sit for a meditation for 3 or 4 hours continuously, I do go very deep into meditation. And few meditation, and it's like it's revealing the truth. It might sound simple for the other person who is listening, but for me at that moment, for whatever I was going through, the answers which you get, it is just wonderful. So like that, I have got many experiences with my meditation. Just one small thing which I would like to share is like when I was in meditation early morning one day, I had an encounter with Lord Shiva. So it was like I did not recognize the person because that person was totally different, looking different. It was like in the background of universe where he is kind of visible or invisible kind, and he just had a casual talk with me, and I was like staring at the person, and he was like, you do not recognize me, and it was very wonderful conversation. And that day I was revealed of my purpose of life, and it is not very complicated. It is very simple. Life is to be simple, and it was like, I am love. It is my purpose of my life to recognize that I am love, and to look for that, showing that love with the other person, that you are love. So that is my purpose in my life this time. So that is one great experience which I got with meditation.
Well, that was very nice experience. So sometimes in meditation, I feel that maybe a little bit of knowledge I have in spirituality and meditation. So all the peoples, those who appear, they will be in the light bodies, right? So sometimes it is very hard to recognize them, because what we see in the physical form, we have some kind of painting about them, like this is the Shiva and this thing. So whenever he appears before you in a light form, we may not recognize also. So maybe I felt that maybe a similar kind of thing has happened with you. That's what I feel.
Yes.
But that was a
Yes.
very great experience. Yeah, you're connecting with masters and this thing. Very nice.
Yes.
Very well said. So finally, Ananthi madam, what is the message you want to give to the viewers of my channel K for Knowledge, so that they get the inspiration to connect with the spiritual path?
Okay. So one thing which I would like to share, and which I have learned, gained through this spirituality meditation, is that our thoughts become reality. And this I have actually seen in practice in my day-to-day life, where my thought, which I think today happens either tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or even today within a few hours. So that is something like a miracle which keeps happening. And it's not like only for me, it is true for everybody. Only thing is that I have recognized it and maybe you have still not recognized it. So thoughts become reality. They are very, very powerful. Our first thought, then our words, then our actions. So our Vakshetra is equally as important and powerful as our words. So choose our words always beautifully. There are lots of words, right? Why do we want to choose the words which we do not even want to hear? So why do we want to tell that to other person? So thoughts, they belong to us. And many times the thoughts also may not belong to us. They come from the external sources, right? From our parents, teachers, friends, or from the books or anything, newspaper, whatever we're reading. So we just have to take in whatever is just right, whatever is necessary for us, and have that thought, whatever you feel that will make a difference, not only for you, for the other person who's listening to. Only when it is absolutely necessary, talk. Otherwise, it's okay. Let us be in Mauna. So that is one thing which I would like to say. Instead of just going on talking, chatter, let us just pause for that minute or a second before we say that word, which might hurt the other person, the feelings. Because words are very powerful, which arise from a thought. So thoughts which have the power have to be directed, focused in the right path. So we sow a thought, we reap an action, whatever we do in our everyday life. So, and we sow an action, we reap a habit. Whatever we do every day becomes a habit for us. We sow a habit and it becomes a character. And we sow a character and a character becomes our destiny. So if we have our single purpose as smile, don't complicate life too much. Make it simple. Smile every day, each and every moment. Keep it simple and let us just walk that beautiful path every day in whatever way. Simple.
Wow, wow. Well said. Well said, Ananthi madam. So it was very nice to have few question and answer sessions from you. And like I really believe that yes, viewers will be very happy to learn from Ananthi madam. And I also feel that yes, this will inspire most of the people who are in the spiritual path or who are just into the spiritual path right now. Yeah, it is a very inspiration from Ananthi madam. Yeah, friends. Now I will hand over the stage to Ananthi madam, and she will take today's topic. Yeah, the stage is yours,
Thank
Ananthi.
you. Thank you, Master Srikanth, and welcome to the friends again. Loving relationships or the love in relationships. So this is something, the knowledge which I've gained by listening to various masters, especially our dear Pratriji. I have listened to a lot of concepts from him and I would like to share it in my own words, my own understanding about them. So loving relationships or the love in relationships. It is looks simple, but sometimes it looks complicated also. What are we doing in a relationship? And what is that love in a relationship? And sometimes it looks like that soap advertisement, right? Searching for love in a relationship, like, "Dhunte raho." Even though we look for that love in the relationship, sometimes, why is it that we have to really look for that love in the relationship? Let us get into the basics. So everything is energy. The whole world, the whole universe, I, you, everything. Everything is energy. Everything is a possibility. There are infinite possibilities, and I am one possibility, you are one possibility. And everything around us are all possibilities. We have been taught from the age of Vedas to the latest quantum physics that everything whatever we see or don't see, everything is just plain, pure energy. The tree, the sofa in which I'm sitting, our Srikant Master, myself, everybody will agree that we are all matters of energy. And we see that energy, and we have been told with different terms as this energy as either God or consciousness or nature. Now, when we come to relationship, let's define what is a relationship. I am energy, you are energy. Whenever there is a transfer of energy between you and me, a relationship forms. Let's take an example. I just go walking down the road. I have seen a litter of puppies there, and the mother has gone away. And the puppies are there, and nobody is there to take care of the puppies. Now, I do not have any kind of energy exchange. I'm an energy, the puppies are energy. There is no exchange of energy. I just have a look at them. And now, I feel some sympathy in my own self. I just go near the puppies, and there is starting some transfer of energy from me to the puppy. So I just pet the puppy for a few minutes, and the puppy looks at me. And after a few minutes, I just decide to walk away. But now, when I see the puppy is just coming back behind me, the puppy is now sharing the energy with me. There is a transfer of energy between now me and the puppy now. And so this transfer of energy is creating a new bond between me and the puppy, a relationship. So puppy follows me, and I decide to give it some milk, and later on the puppy and I have that mutual understanding of staying with each other. A new relationship is born. The energy form, whenever I want to create that relationship, decide and transfer that energy with the other person, with the plant or the animal or anything, and I form a beautiful relationship. There are different labels for this relationship: father, mother, daughter, boss, colleague, a child, a pet, elephant, anything, or even plant which is there in your garden. We can have a good relationship. There are so many labels which we have for this energy forms. So what do we do when we have to have this relationship work out? I'm going to office. Okay, it is just like the old terms where we go to office every day and meet the colleagues. So each and everything around me is energy. So I gather my energy from each and everything from inside me when I do meditation, and also from outside of me. The plant which I see, when it has a beautiful flower, I gather a lot of energy from it. When I see a good food and I smell it, I get a lot of energy. So different kinds of energy inspire me each and every day. And I go there to office and I meet that colleague and I wish them have lunch and I have a great time. So imagine, so this is one kind of a positive energy where I vibrate. I'm in a certain vibration and my friend is on the frequency of vibration, and we vibrate and we are in sync with each other. So my relationship with that particular person is very good. So imagine I'm not having a very good relationship with my boss in the office. So I wake up in the morning, I just think about my boss. And what happens? That alarm clock, why didn't it ring on time? What happened to it? Battery went off. I just get that energy. Even though that flower is there, I do not get that positive energy from that. In fact, I choose to get that energy from something else, the negative energy, and keep it in myself. And even though the food is there, it has become slightly cold. So I'm now again upset slightly. Can't you make it on time for me? It's become cold. How will I have this cold food? Even though it is a good smelling food and everything, it's become slightly cold. I can adjust, but no, I'm there with that negative energy. So I go to with that negative energy. And when I face my boss, obviously, yes, it is that interaction, that energy which goes between me and my boss there. And yes, my boss again says, okay, you're not done your work properly. I wanted it this way, I'm not done it in a different way. So there, the energy, transfer of energy is not in sync with each other. We are vibrating in different frequencies. We generally gain a lot of energy from meditation. And this energy, whichever we gain, it is we who decide how to use it, how to transfer this transfer of energy, this interaction of energy. This is the basis for any kind of relationship to be in either harmony or disharmony. When we vibrate, have that positive vibration, higher vibration, we vibrate and we just influence the other person, even though they are less in vibration. It is a possibility for us to raise that vibration beautifully, always up. So now, in spite of all these things, yes, we are trying to have a beautiful relationship and we are doing so many things for the other person. Why does it always change? I mean, our inner relationship with that person and the outer relationship with the person. That is the thoughts which on in our mind, that the connection which make through our heart, the soul to soul connection, and the connection which we make through the mind. That is, which comes out through our words or our actions. Are they in sync with each other? The inner relationship and the outer relationship which we make with the person, are they in sync with each other for that relationship to flourish? Example, we can take the relationship between a student and a teacher. The teacher wants the student to do things on time, but the student does not do it. So the teacher shows a little bit of anger. It can be even for a parent and a child. When it comes to homework, nowadays it's kind of becoming a little bit tough for the kids to do it on their own. So we have to nag as parents sometimes, even though we do not want to do it, we are doing it. So our inner talk is that don't do it, but our outer talk is like we are still doing it. So how do we become in sync with these two interactions? How to make that relation? When we are not in sync with our inner and the outer, definitely the outer becomes a little bit chaotic. And this we might have seen in many times. Why is it not working out? Why is my son angry with me? Why are things like that? That why? That question comes out many times when our inner relationship is different from the outer relationship. Whatever we have from the person. Many times it happens this way. What you do for and what you do in a relationship really matters. What do you do for in the relationship? Many times in relationships, we actually keep doing and doing, always doing for the other person, not for us. Definitely, we keep doing. Especially, we can see that in the head of the family, the father. The father keeps always doing, taking care of the bills, taking care of the children, school, family, going for the vacation, planning, everything. The father keeps doing. Mother is not behind. Mother also does from early morning till the time she goes back to bed. She keeps doing, always doing for the other person. They wonder after some time, why is my relationship not working out properly with my son or the daughter? in spite of me doing and doing and doing so many things I've been doing for this person from the birth. But why? But why did he say that word to me today? So many things keep happening for us, right? Why do we have that kind of a misunderstanding? We are just focused mostly on the doing part. We just keep doing something or the other for the other person instead of in the being part, from the heart, from the soul part. We are doing from the mind part, but most of the time we are not being. So there comes that misunderstanding. Why is there no strong relationship? Why is that relationship failing? Or it's like going in the downward path instead of going in the upward path. The misunderstanding comes back to us because we are mostly in the doing part and not in the being part. What we have to do for being in the relationship, we need to be, that is, think about what is our state of mind while we are in the doing action. Are we doing it out of love? Or are we doing it just for the sake of doing it? Your child wants to go for an excursion and wants money. And you are like, no. Why? Because it involves an flight travel and you are not comfortable with it. And you say that no for that person. Even though you feel that if they were a child, you want the child to go, but you're afraid. So because of that, you say that no. So there is a little bit commotion happening there between you and your child because you're not sync with your own self, with the way we communicate and whatever thinking we are doing, it doesn't align with the being. When we are going to become in sync with the thinking and the doing, we are absolutely going to enjoy that relationship with the other person. Why do we not have content either with us or what the other person? We are always thinking, what can I do? What can I do for the other person? What more do I have to do? What more? I have already done so much. I have made my son to go into a good college. What more do I have to do? What more do I have to do? So these kind of things always keep us bothering us. We have that little fear nagging us. Our intention is good, and what we think while we are doing matters a lot. Be in the right vibration. How do we get that right vibration? The simple meditation process helps us to always lift us that mood. If you don't have much time, it's okay. Just close your eyes for 5 minutes in the morning. It really helps us. The mind and the body, they should always and be aligned with each other. And this meditation, dear masters, it works like miracles. Our mind, most of the time, if you see, it is always in this mode of complaining. It is either in the mode of hurt, or in that mode of anger, or in the mode of expectation. Mind, when it is there in this kind of emotions, is it really possible to have that perfectness in that relationship? We might be acting, but it is only acting as if we are in that perfect relationship. But are we really being in that beautiful relationship? We are perfect in doing, but are we perfect in being? So this is that small thing which we have to look into when we are actually just thinking about having that beautiful bond in that loving relationship. So let's just do an exercise for a minute or two. Just visualize, close your eyes. As we are listening, just close your eyes and just visualize that one person in front of you whom you think the relationship is not so great and you want to improve that relationship with that person right now, just keep your eyes closed and bring in that image of the person in front of you. Your interaction with that person is perfect. Your vibration now with that person is in sync, is in complete alignment with the other person. So what do you feel about that other person now? What is that question you have for the other person? What is the question that other person is asking you right now? Just feel it and catch that first sentence which comes to you. Okay, you may now open your eyes. So what do you think was the answer or the question which was asked? Most of the time, it is like, you have to do this for me. You have to give me this, or I have to do this for you. Give me, give me, give me. That is the attitude. Because most of the time, we unknowingly, we just go into that mode of fear when we are in a relationship. So what can we do to just come out of it? Simple, just accept. From the give me attitude, change into that acceptance attitude with that other person, whomever you had in your mind just right now. It is not easy. It might take some time to accept the other person as they are. Instead of saying, give me, put in the question, what can I do for you? What can I give you more? I do not expect anything. I accept you the way you are. When we can just look into the other person's eyes with that love, dropping that fear, the change happens and the relationship blooms there. There are a few techniques which our dear Master Patriji has given us. Let us see how to integrate that into our day-to-day life. So how do we go into this acceptance attitude? Let go attitude. Okay, let go. Many times we are not able to forget the words. Basically, we can take an example. A mother-in-law tells, oh, you didn't put salt in that dal. It was spoken some 20 years ago. We still remember that, right? Why? Why can't we accept the person as a mother and let go? Forget. More than forgetting, let go. We're not able to do it. So how do we get over this? How do we make that relationship work beautifully? Few techniques. A small joke. Two friends are talking and one friend questions the other friend. Can you tell me the name of the ship which never sinks? And the answer was beautifully said as friendship. So when we convert any relationship into a friendship or have friendship as the base for any kind of relationship, and when we recognize and realize that friendship is the only thing which is going to be with us forever, then the relationship turns into a beautiful thing. Let's see that with few examples. Let's see the example of a mother and a daughter. The daughter is of 13 age. Her birthday has come and she comes to the mother and says, Mom, it's my 13th birthday. I've become a teen now. I require a phone. And you're like, 13, you're too young. No, I can't get your phone. And she says, all my friends have it. All the parents have given the phone. I want a phone too. And you're like, okay, no. I won't get your phone, whatever you tell me. So how does this work? How do we solve this problem? Another example, we have a 4-year-old toddler in the house. Just now, school is started, and the teacher has told to use the crayons. The child is doing some crayon work, and you are doing your office work, and you just went out to get a glass of water, and you come and see your child has drawn something nicely, and he says, "Dad, see, I have drawn a boat." And you see the paper. It is a very important office file paper you have. How do you handle that situation? And another example, everything is fine. You are wealthy, no problem. You're well settled, and you have your parents living in a different place. And your mom calls you today suddenly, and her voice is like panicked. It's like, what happened, mom? She says, "Why didn't you call me yesterday? I was expecting a phone call." And tuck, 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 tuck. Many things she tells you. You're like busy in the phone call, but yet this is happening. How do you handle this? Another situation, you have a old father and you are not a very well-to-do. You're a little bit broke now. And your father expects you, he has broken his glasses and he's like wants to read the newspaper every day and he's asking you that to replace the glasses. And you're like, next week. So it's a little bit of a not so comfortable situation. So how do you handle all these things? When we say that the friendship is the base for everything, we need to understand that even when friends, when they do not talk for days or months together, when once as spiritual light workers and when we have spirituality as a base, we understand that friendship is there forever. And it is not only for this lifetime, it has been for many, many lifetimes. When we have the basic understanding, simple thing, we will not become angry on the other person. So when the daughter, in the first example, when the daughter says that she wants a phone, you will not actually become angry. You might tend to become a friend for that daughter. And who knows, your daughter might become a famous YouTuber or do something more using that phone and make a good use of that phone. When you stay with that 4-year-old who has painted, you will become more careful for arranging your own things. And instead of having that very angry look on your face to that toddler, you might be able to smile and be more careful with our work. With our mom, you might say, "Yes, mom, I just forgot because I was just very busy. If I'm not calling you, please call me." And with the father, we can always make some way, some arrangement. When we think in abundance, when we think our thought, change it from lack to abundance automatically, we will be able to fund for that spectacle for our father. So instead of looking at anything as a problem, when we look at the same thing from a different point of view, when we change our thought, when we infuse that friendship into our relationship, everything changes just like that within a second. And we have many beautiful other concepts for our master. We have a concept like attachment in detachment and detachment in attachment. So many times we just misunderstand this concept as if when we are into this path of spirituality, should we have to leave everything and go away? No, not at all. The more and more we are into the spirituality, we understand ourselves, why we are here, why the other person is here. And our love for everybody and everything around us increases. And we do not go anywhere else, not necessary. We stay wherever we are, full in love. We recognize the love within ourselves. We recognize the love in the other person. And when that energy exchange happens, it happens in the most beautiful way. We are attached with that pet. Yes, we are also detached. If the pet is not there anymore, we are like, okay, fine. We're not attached. We do not grieve. Yes, we do have that feelings. It is okay to open up and cry. But we do not continue in that feeling for days or months or years together. So that is that attachment in the detachment and the detachment in the attachment, which we are supposed to have. Is it even possible to have no attachment in a relationship? In any kind of relationship, any time we take, there is always that little bit of attachment, because there is always a play of that emotions, of the feelings in any kind of relationship. And many times, when it becomes overboard, when it becomes possessive, that is when we have that little problem of attachment happening to us. An example I would like to share, say a mother who has been taking care of the child from the time the child is born, example, a mother and a son relationship. Let's take it that way. The child now has finished school and is going to college. The college is in a different place. The attachment between the mother and the son, it is there beautifully. And they talk each other like, Mom, I miss your dal curry. I miss your veg biryani. Like that. So many other things. I miss the evening walk with you. So many things. The child and the mother shares. They share a beautiful bond. Now, the son is getting married. The priorities for the son change. Now also the son is living in a different city. When the son was in college, that time also he was living in the city. But now the mother, sometimes she feels that the son has changed. Why does this happen? There is a play of emotions, there is a play of feelings between that relationship of the mother and the son. Now, when the mother recognizes that the relationship is complete, yes, there is attachment with me, it is just wholesome. The attachment which I have with my son is there, but I also am going to practice that detachment, that I do not expect that all my expectations have to be fulfilled. That is, the son has to reciprocate my affection in each and everything I do. When that kind of detachment comes, the mother and the son, they have the perfect attachment, but yet that small detachment comes, yes. And she focuses in doing things which gives in a lot of energy, a lot of love. She can do it either for herself or still continue with the doing or the giving or the being. When she becomes into the being state, automatically this beautiful attachment in detachment and detachment and attachment happily happens with that beautiful mom. I would like to say a small story in this. Many of you might have heard or listened to the story, but I would just like to reiterate this story. The story goes like this. There is a wealthy person in a small town. He has the most beautiful house in the town, and many other people envy looking at his house because he has traveled all over the world and collected so many invaluable treasures, and he has showcased them in his house. His house has become very dear and very much valuable for him. One day, This person goes to the next town for some function, and he gets to hear a news in the middle of the night that his house is on fire. This person just runs back and sees, and he is just crying and crying and crying aloud. Nothing could be done. Most of the house has burnt, and there is nothing they can do to save the house, remaining house too, because they're just not able to go near the house. So now this person is very much attached to this house, and so he is like crying, crying, crying. And now his first son, he comes and tells me, Dad, please forgive me. Without your knowledge, yesterday I sold the house to another person. Now the father is like, really? You sold the house? It doesn't belong to me? So this person, this father who was so much attached to the house, becomes an onlooker now. He is now not bothered. The house is in flames, but it doesn't bother him. He wipes his tears and he's like, fine. And now his happiness is short-lived. His second son comes and he says, Father, I have only got the advance. I haven't got the full money for the house. Now again, the son says, we do not know whether he will take this house or not because it has burnt. Whether he'll give the full money. So the father is now again attached to the house. Oh no, what will happen? Will I get the money? Everything is going in flames. What will I do? He becomes attached again. He's not an onlooker anymore. So now the third son comes and says, Dad, the person who got the house from us is a very truthful person. He keeps up his word. He has told that whether the house is there or not, I will take it. So now the father becomes detached again, the house, and he's like, okay, fine. So the house is the same, the father is the same, but whether having that attachment or the detachment, it all generates from our own self. Being detached in the attachment and being attached in the detachment. This is a very simple story, like how we can be detached or attached to anything. The other thing which Patrici generally says is, no judgment, no complaint. It looks simple, but sometimes it's kind of very difficult to practice. Basically, we need to let go, learn to let go of anything which we do not want to remember for ourselves. Do not judge anybody. I would just like to tell this also with a small story, a maybe story. Okay, so a man got a little bit lucky one day. He got lakhs of money in a lottery, and he got a lot of riches. Suddenly, he became very rich, and the people around him started telling, "Oh, you're a very lucky guy. You got so much of money, you got car, you got wealth, all this." And this guy is like, maybe. He just brushed off saying, maybe. Yes, maybe I'm lucky. Few days later, when he was traveling in his car, some other big vehicle, a lorry kind, came and hit him. He was seriously injured. He was admitted in the hospital. His friends and relatives who came to see him said, "Oh, how sad. You're hurt so badly. You're very unlucky. Just now we thought you're lucky, but you're not really lucky." So this person, again, his answer was simple. Maybe I was unlucky. And now, again, something happens. The house which he got just was washed away in a landslide. The friends came and tell him, they come and tell him, your house was washed away in a landslide. You're very lucky. Lucky that you got that accident and you're in the hospital now and you're not at home. And now they say you're lucky. And this guy again says, maybe. So, what we learned from this small story is do not judge any situation. When you get something, you do not judge anything. And when you are in that car accident, you do not complain and you not judge that it is a bad situation. Because whatever accident had happened for him saved his life. It was not very life threatening, but he's alive now. So we do not judge anything or we do not complain about anything. Just letting go of anything which happens in our life really helps us a lot. So we do not judge anything, we accept and we enter into that conscious alignment of being with our own self. Anything is possible. And when we align with that purpose of a beautiful living, we always get more out in any kind of relationship with us. And now I would just like to briefly touch upon the 7 SE mirrors which happen in our life, because people around us, especially in relationships, are just like the mirror image, reflections of us. Why do they come into our lives? Because they are here to show us that we have to become that particular type. A friend suddenly shouts at us because we have to bring in certain quality which is there within us, which will come out only with that angry face. Maybe it is not compulsory, but maybe that person has been repeatedly telling us, we did not listen. And now the person has to raise the voice to tell us whatever has been there, the choices which happen in our life, the language, all those things around us, they are all the simple mirrors. Any kind of relationship, they can be put into some 7 types. This has been done beautifully by Greg Braden. And I would like to just briefly go through these 7 SE mirrors. The first mirror, it shows us our present in the moment, like what we reflect by others in the moment, like what we are doing in the moment. If we are in a harmonious relationship, we have harmonious people around us. If we are in that disharmonious vibration, the people around us also are in that disharmonious vibration and nothing goes good that day for us. So this is the first reflection which we have for us. The second mirror is also the same thing, but it is like more like what we judge in the moment. It is a mirror of judgment. So when many people show the same kind of pattern, which keeps happening repeatedly around us, it is just time for us to bring a look into that internal truth which is there about us, which reflects us in that particular moment. When we have multiple new relationships showing up, say you shift a job and you see many new people, new friends, which reflect the same kind of attitude towards you, that is when you have to look into this kind of a mirror. So the third one will be the mirror of childhood loss. Like whatever we lost when we were inner child, when we look into the eyes of the other person and we see that, okay, when I was a little child, I loved that loving touch of my mother. I did not have a very good friend. So now I am getting into this true friendship with this person. They are those mirrors, whatever we lost in our childhood. The next will be the mirror of past lives. Like what happens? We have many questions like why? We get deeply cheated or we are totally rejected by the other person whom we really love. And we lose our near and dear ones suddenly. So why does it happen? This is a mirror of a past life where we have to look into our own self, meditate, and get more into the answers, because many times we get that answer from not from outside but from our own inner self. And when we see this pattern happening, we need to understand we have to learn something continuously from others. When that continuous learning happens, then these kind of people will slowly get away from our life. The next would be the mirror of father or the mother. Most of the time, we reflect the qualities from our father, mother. We might be having some kind of failure, unsuccess in our business or a work or in relationship. So when we have these kind of things happening for us, we just understand the greater reality, the greater truth, and we just come out of this issue or problem or whatever we think like. Next, we have the mirror of quest for darkness. Anything in life has duality: day, night, evil, good, white, black. Anything comes in duality. So when we tend to focus on one thing and neglect the other comes up in a big manner after some time without our own knowledge, since we have been neglecting. When we try to balance anything and everything, when we look into the goodness of that person and also the weakness and support and lift the other person, obviously we will be able to get over of this kind of a mirror from our life. The last one will be the mirror of self-perception, where we have to think about ourselves, our own self. We have a lot of perceptions about ourselves. We have to look into the perfections in the imperfections of our own life. When we start into looking into the perfections from all the imperfections within ourselves, we tend to naturally do that to the other person, because nobody is perfect. Everybody has some kind of an imperfection here and there. But when we start to look into the perfections, give more attention to it, we try to lift the other person along with us as we raise our vibrations and move more and more into that healthy relationship with the other person. So, what all more can we do? We need to give more respect to our own self. We learn to give respect to others by giving that respect to ourselves. Many times we just don't give that sufficient attention to our own self. I can't do this. I do not know to do this. I need to be a little more rich to be doing that. Oh, she has something nice, but I do not have that. Give that self-respect first. So that raises our vibrations slowly, slowly. Start loving your beautiful self. Understand that we are loved like the same way any other person is. We have that godliness inside of us. Start loving that beautiful self. Not tomorrow, not later, just from this moment. Accept yourself, respect yourself, value yourself, believe in your capabilities, give importance to yourself. Do not go against yourself. Do not let others rule you, and heal yourself. When we start doing all these things, we understand the beautiful lesson that we have come here to learn from each and every situation, learn and heal our own self. So these mirrors, anytime we might be facing one mirror or even multiple mirrors in our relationships. So simply start believing you, accepting you, loving you, and everything comes into perfect alignment, perfect vibrations. And when that inner calling comes in our own self, we will be able to express whatever it is, no matter whoever you're dealing with it. With our core belief system, we can always go into that state of abundance and live in that happy state always with a more beautiful relationship. So now loving relationship. So what is love? Simple, we'll just finish. Love means everything for me. Without love, there is nothing. Love is that only thing which actually holds this universe together, binds everything together. It is that energy within me, within you, within each and everything. So, what do you do when you are in love? You give freedom. You feel that freedom within yourself first, and you give that freedom to whomever you love the most. Freedom. I can explain that with a simple example like when you see a rose, you love the rose. When you love the rose, you give the freedom for the rose plant to live, to the rose to live its own life. Yes, its duration is short, but okay. We do give that opportunity for that rose to live in that plant. We do not pluck it. An example I would like to say, you are the burning lamp. Okay. In the name of love, in the name of protection, you do not overprotect. Yes, you give a little bit of protection to that lamp. Say your loved one, your child, considers a lamp. Yes, you give a little bit of protection for that child, but you do not cover it up, mask it up, where the child suffocates without any oxygen, like the lamp, which is just covered completely, just goes down without any oxygen. When we start overprotecting in the name of love, in the name of love, we do something and take away the freedom of the other person. That is not the love which we have to become. We become free and we realize the freedom in the other person. And what do we do in a very difficult situation? Yes, this relationship is not working at all for me. What do I do? Why is my son always shouting at me? What do I do? So, what we can do in that situation is we are all into meditation, beautiful meditators. Connect with your thoughts. Thoughts are very powerful. They are very much highly energized with a lot of energy. Then with your words, connect with your thoughts. Connect during meditation. So that is one powerful thing which I have also realized in my day-to-day life, where I do connect energetically with people. And we get messages. The more and more we practice meditation, the more and more we just connect it and become one with the other person. So whatever you want to do, the other person will automatically do it. So connect with everybody. Realize that we are all energy beings and connect in the state of consciousness. That will help us. So meditate, meditate, meditate. More of meditation, which will help you. Smile, smile, smile a lot more and enjoy the day every day. Thank you all.
Well, thank you, madam. That was a wonderful session on loving relationships. And I feel that, yes, the viewers will be very happy to see the insight on loving relationships, what you have shared with the wonderful examples. And of course, they will be waiting for more such sessions from you. And even I am also very much enthusiastic to have more sessions in the future on various different topics. Well, thank you very much, Ananthi madam, for your time and coming on my show. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Master Srikanth, and thank you to all the people who are watching this. The simple thing is like always keep smiling, smile, smile, smile. Just keep it as a very simple life goal in your daily life. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye.